Leeds United, a team, so much history on and off the pitch. But did you know, back in late 2000s, Leeds United were on the brink of a Champions League semi-final against Valencia, and yet just 3 years after this final, they were relegated to the Championship. Today, on this episode, we are going to look and see what happened in this massive downfall and who was responsible for this. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the video. So in 1998, Leeds United were managed by George Graham. George Graham had kept Leeds up in a very good position, but left the club to go to Tottenham Hotspur. Peter Ridsdale then decided to pick David O'Leary, his assistant, as the manager of Leeds United, and the team was superb. They finished in the 1999-2000 season, the first full season he had in charge. Leeds United sat third and qualified for the Champions League, which is very good and good revenue for the club. They had a very good run and they reached the semi-finals of the Champions League. Unfortunately, they did lose out to Valencia. But the main thing was, at the end of the 2000 to 2001 season, Leeds United did miss out on Champions League football and had to settle for Europa League. The following season, Leeds United had a great start and were top of the league on New Year's Day, but a very poor run towards the end of the season saw the club once again finish in 5th place, and this one had huge consequences to follow. Following this poor run at the end of the season, Peter Ridsdale, the owner, sacked manager David O'Leary and appointed former England boss Terry Venables, but what Venables didn't realise, he was walking into trouble. First, Rio Ferdinand was sold to Manchester United for £30 million, followed by Robbie Keane leaving as well, joining Tottenham Hotspur, and then in January, Robbie Fowler joined Manchester City, Jonathan Woodgate joined Newcastle, and Lee Bowyer joined West Ham, as Leeds needed to raise funds because they were £70 million in debt. Following this, in April 2003, Peter Ridsdale resigned as chairman, but for that did sack manager Terry Venables, and they did appoint Peter Reid with 8 games to go of the 2002-2003 season. Leeds United did survive that season, emphatically beating Arsenal 3-2 at Highbury, which then crowned their rivals. Manchester United gave them the title that season. In the summer of 2003, more departures, including Harry Kewell to Liverpool, saw Leeds decline on the pitch, and Peter Reid was sacked in October following a very poor start to the following season, and he was replaced by club legend Eddie Gray until the end of the season. However, this time Leeds United could not sustain the form they had towards the end of the last season, as they were relegated following a 4-1 defeat at Bolton Wanderers in April. So who was to blame for in this downfall? Well, I think you can look at the owner Peter Ridsdale, who, when he became chairman, it was a very popular appointment, but not realising that he was gambling his team's opportunities on the pitch to get into Champions League football, and obviously when missing out twice, he then had he left the club with a lot of depth, and then obviously just ran away from all the problems. I know he's hated at Leeds United, and to be honest with you, as you've probably seen the clip before, the clip that says, should we have spent so heavily in the past? Probably not. But in the words of Ridsdale, we lived the dream. We enjoyed the dream. So I can see why the majority of Leeds fans don't like the guy at all. 2 years just after relegation, Leeds United were so close to returning back to the Premier League, defying all odds under a rebuild from manager Kevin Blackwell, but unfortunately came short in the playoff final as they lost 3-0 to Watford at Cardiff, which saw Watford go up and Leeds stay in the Championship. However, the following season was a very painful one for Leeds United. Yes, more off-pitch problems saw the club relegated to the 3rd tier of English football for the first time in the club's history, and more problems saw them get a 15-point deduction for the following season in League One. However, they did manage to bounce back 3 years later in 2010 and finally returned back to the Premier League in 2020, 10 years after being promotion from League One and 16 years after relegation from the Premier League. But what the future holds for them is anybody's guess. would there ever be another situation like this. Hopefully not for them, because they've got a very loyal support and a very good die-hard support. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It's really appreciated, and if you'd like to see me do more videos on this sort of thing, comment down below, because I'm looking I can do any clubs. I've got a lot of clubs lined up and I want to talk through their club's poor history and poor run of form. Like, comment and subscribe to the channel. I know it's a brief video, but thanks so much for watching. It is really appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.